Hello, Your Majesties. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always coming back. Thank you so much for returning. Hope you're well in all that you do and you're loving yourself and others like always, and you're living your life according to your own way, and you're being fulfilled, sweetheart, in all that you do, because these are needed as we journey through this life struggles, right? Today we are here. I came across something and I feel like, okay, why not we bring it here so we deliberate on it, right? It was said that Nikola Tesla is reincarnated in Africa. And I saw that, I laughed over it because it's a bit funny. You say Nikola Tesla reincarnated in Africa because what this man creates, when it is from Africa that every knowledge of technology came out from. It's from Africa. You get the point. You get the point. It's not something I will keep saying it because you know it already, right? Now, this man is no other person but the Zimbabwean, a man who creates televisions, cars, whatever, that use pure energy. Like, they do not need any electricity to power them, right? When we're talking about free energy in space, we also talked about that. Now I'm bringing this here deliberately for those who didn't watch the first video about him, and then the other one I was talking about the free energy in space, which the supremacists wouldn't want you to know about. His name is Maxwell Chikumbutu. He is from Zimbabwe, and he creates things which is against even the principles of physics. He dropped out of school at a very tender age of 14, and he had to start fending for those who were coming after him, the little ones. Things were so tight for them, and that at the process of that, what would I call it? Chastisement? Should I call it chastisement? Should I call it because it was like he was being prepared for what is ahead of him to come, right? He was being nurtured for the future. It was at that process that he moves around, and then knowledge of merging things to produce light. So they're coming, he will add some wires and something happens, he will do something, and he discovered that he really had this gift, and the creator was using him for something. Obviously, I keep saying that the creator lives in us, and we are living in the creator. In anything we want to do, or everything or anything at all we want to do, when we put our minds to it, of course it's gonna come to existence. Now I want us to listen to him himself, and we're going to take it up from there.
My name is Maxwell Sangulani Chikumbutso. God has given me something that is going to change the world. It all started in Zimbabwe, where as a 14-year-old, I went from schoolboy to working man to help support my family. Our hard-working mother couldn't afford dinner, let alone school fees. Getting by was always a daily struggle. But God is good. We grew up fast, to say the least.
One final check of the battery voltage revealed a shocking result. Not only had the machine outlasted the expected battery life, but the batteries were still fully charged. This proved that the device was being powered from an unknown energy source.
This is one of the happiest days of my life, and I am so proud of this man who has gone through so much. He's listened to the voice of the divine coming through him, and he's done whatever it takes to bring this through for humanity. So congratulations, my friend. Now we're going to get you well.
Amidst the excitement of seeing this for the first time, a couple of strangers showed up on the site where we were being shown these devices, and Maxwell, the inventor, took us aside as soon as he could and said, "These guys are from the government," and I didn't know they were coming. Unfortunately, we're truly concerned about this gentleman, and we're just going to take every precaution that we can to keep ourselves safe, to keep him safe, and to keep this knowledge safe.
The microphone we had on Maxwell picked up the conversation that he had with one of the officials. So we quickly got the tape translated and found out that the government official was promising Maxwell a power purchase agreement where the government would pay him for generating energy for the country. It was good corroboration that they believed he had what he claimed. Although Maxwell didn't trust him because the government had already put him in prison in an effort to steal his technology.
A brief trip into the future with inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso. He's claiming a scientific breakthrough with this green energy technology, an electric car which he says converts radio frequencies into energy.
The powertrain, we did it in-house, which makes it the first electric vehicle in the world that drives without needing recharging systems. On the greener power off-grid machine, it's very unique. For the first time, energy is being generated using a radio frequency and without moving parts.
Chikumbutso is not the typical scientist. He dropped out of school aged 14 and says he's developed his blueprints through research and visions from God. A showroom in Harare showcases his prototypes. A helicopter that operates using any one of the 5 fuels, including paraffin, a drone and a household transformer that he says can multiply power 100-fold. But he says breaking his disruptive technology into the world has not been easy. He's failed to patent his work.
That's why we end up finding nuclear scientists, electromagnetic professors, so that they can assist us on the patent process. But as you are aware that in patents, anything that violates the laws of physics is not an industrial applicable solution. They classify it as a perpetual motion device.
Luis Kupenala, a South African-based Angolan businessman, has poured millions into the project, but now believes it's time to commercialize. He says the Angolan government and a Brazil private energy player have signed up to buy some of their products, but that other investors don't generally believe anything credible can come out of Africa.
We just sell from our skin color. We don't believe on ourselves. But obviously, a new generation has another responsibility to change this kind of paradigm.
Your Majesties, you heard all that for yourself. What struck me was the fact that the government had put him in prison. You know, there have been a lot of attempts on his life, poisoning 3 times. There and a lot more of them. And to hear that the government had imprisoned him for inventing, like, what are we doing to ourselves? Most of the times we talk about the enemy and we think the enemy is far away. I keep saying this. There is no white man that will come to Africa to use anyone or take advantage of anybody or steal our resources or do whatever they want to do if they were not aided. They got help from inside, and that is why they could do what they came for. Because if there's no help from anywhere, it will be very difficult for them to penetrate. And this keep happening. It's like history always repeats itself. This is exactly what happened during the slave trading. There was help from inside. You get the point, and which cost the life of a lot of our ancestors who were not in support of it, who were struggling to fight for the lives of their offspring. Because there's always somebody who is a Judas, who is a betrayal. There's always someone. And this is what we need to sit as a black people, because we always betray each other. There is always someone who always go for that little change they give. We need to talk about this because it's eating deep into us. Now just take a look at. We will be saying, oh, we have to protect our own, so that they do not come take him out. Now, look at what is really happening. You see them all there. The Mbekes are all around him now. Why? Because the governments are not even in support of what he does. And it might be another segment of people who are using the government to kill his dream. Now I just like the force that pushed him, right? He allowed the creator in him to keep being what he looked up to. You get the point? I keep saying this. You're looking for something to help your life, you're looking for something to come save you. You need to work from within. You need to start discovering that you're powerful and there is nothing that you cannot achieve. Only if you believe, only if you put your mind to it. And that is why the word says that whatever we profess with our lips, believing with our hearts, we profess with our lips, believing with our heart, will come to pass in our lives. There is no magic to it. You don't need to sit and wait for someone somewhere to fly down from somewhere to come do it for you. You just need to profess it and believe it totally in your heart. And it comes to pass. And this is exactly the driving force that keep pushing this man, Maxwell, to his dreams. And this is the level he has been today. It's so painful that he suffered a lot because of our wickedness as a people. Because of our wickedness as a people, because of our lack of trust in our own, and because of, you can name them, he has suffered because we are not true to ourselves. He has suffered because we betray each other. He has suffered, but still, the fire in him is still burning. The fire to keep discovering more, to keep, unfolding whatever it is that have been given to him. This is a bit shocking to some persons. This is someone who dropped out of school at 14 to produce things like this. He never studied physics anywhere. He never had a degree. He never had a master's. He never had a PhD. He never had whatever you might call it. But he's producing things like this, and that's why I think a lot of persons will want to add his effort, especially those who claim that you need to go to a place and then study something and have a certificate or a degree or whatever before you can. You get the point? Because with what he does, it's like he's giving room for others who had a dream to just start on their own without going to any school to go study it. And it's going to affect their business. Those who are in charge of schools, do you know how much they milk out of students every year just within your environment? Those who are in charge of schooling, like some people will say schooling is a scam. Do you know how much is milked out of people? For something, if you are serious about, you start discovering yourself, you start experimenting yourself, you start yourself, there's a particular level you're going to get to. Sweetheart, we are powerful. Ancient fathers, what degree, masters, and PhD do they have? None. But they were masters in everything. Because they allow the creator in them to manifest. But now, no, we don't even believe in ourselves. So how do we even believe in a brother when he come up with something? How do we do that? Anyway, I think there's something that we should really sit and think about. This whole issue of not believing in ourselves, in anything African, this issue of betraying our fellow brothers and sisters, especially when they are beginning to have something. Like when someone is gradually becoming popular for something that is good, you see people that want to drag the person down. You see people that want to rob the person with some evil, just out of jealousy and envy. And that is why it is said that the heart of man is wicked. Goodness. Leave your phone there at the section, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive. Bye for now.